having issues getting together today. Hello, hello. Welcome to Community and Connection Chats with D. Hi, everybody. Come on in. And again, I have on my loud bracelets. Gotta take them off. I'll mess up my sound today. Hey, sis. Hey, Jaylene. I can't wave at anybody today. What's going on? Hello, hello. Come on in the live, everybody. All right, I'm about to get right into it. This is some day today, I'm telling you. It is so gloomy here. So gloomy out. It's a bad day. I mean, I'm not going to say it's a bad day. No, it's not a bad day. It's just a gloomy day out. I'm ready for the sunshine to begin. Lately, I've been had to bring in my own sunshine. But that's a good thing. Hi, welcome to my live. Thanks for coming in. Few people, wait for a few people to get in. I know they're on their way. But yeah, today is just one of those days that we want to try to bring in some, motivation, because we're not getting the summer right away. Like the spring time. What happened to the good weather? We just don't have it here in Jersey. Hey, come on in. Come on in. Welcome to Community Connection Chat with D. So we're going to get right into it. I'm going to take a little break after this week. So we'll have 1 week off because it's my son's spring break. So I want to devote that time to him for next week. So this is going to be my last show until the following week. We're going to come back on the 19th. So we have Haleem coming in, motivational speaker. And then on the 19th, I'm going to have a doula. She's going to come in and speak about her business as a doula. So I'm going to miss you guys next Tuesday. Maybe I'll pop in and do a little something on Facebook. But this will be the last one for Instagram until the 19th, okay? Hey, cuz, come on in, girl. Come on in. All right, I'm going to jump right into it. I'm going to do my introduction. We have Jay Haleem. Jay Haleem is a motivational speaker. He went from working $8 an hour at Hampton Inn to earning 6 figures as a commercial photographer in just a few years. He was able to accomplish all of this while being a convicted felon. While working for just $8 an hour, he developed his mantra, and that mantra is, I won't starve. And if you guys can see, I'm rocking the shirt. This is my pink one. I got the black one too, so this is the first time I wore my pink one. So hashtag I won't starve. Great shirts, great quality. I will be posting his information on the YouTube page and under the post, under the reels. So if you want to order any of his shirts, you can go right to his page and hit his link, and I'll also be posting that information too. But once he developed his mantra, I won't starve, that's hashtag I won't starve, which was the catalyst for him to leave his job after only working there for 1 year. So without further ado, I'm gonna bring in, and we got everybody saying they got their shirts. That's right, get your shirts. We're gonna bring in our guest, Jay Haleem, right? So he's gonna come on in. Hello.
Hey, how you doing?
There's my boy. How you doing?
Doing well. Jersey in the house.
I tell you, right? We done came
All
on
the
up,
way on the
huh?
West Coast. Yeah, I'm representing all the way on the West Coast right now.
That's all right. I got plenty of family on the West Coast. How's the
Yeah.
weather out there?
Beautiful, beautiful.
Don't rub it in, okay? You know how it is in Jersey.
I literally just left the East Coast 2 days ago, so I'm like, wow, just missed it.
Yeah, yeah. It's just every time you turn around, it's is it rain? It's gonna be raining, and now I think my son was telling me we're gonna have like full like 17 hours of rain straight.
That's nuts.
My hair can't deal with this kind of weather, so
Your hair can take anything. Anything you put on looks good. You have your hair looking like something different every time, but it
oh
always
my.
rocks.
I try. But this when I do this weather here in Jersey won't stand a chance. Yep. So what's going on? I'm glad that you're here. I appreciate you doing my live. I
No
appreciate it.
problem.
I see so much. I see, all the motivation that you're giving your followers and everyone on social media. And I know you do a lot of things, do a lot of in-person speaking. So just tell us a little bit about how you got started.
Well, again, from Newark, New Jersey, born and raised. So growing up through that all the nonsense we went through in the 80s and 90s in Newark, we got plenty of stories of families strung out on drugs. Pretty much my whole family was going through that situation, but it was just different. The rappers wasn't talking about using drugs back in those days. We were talking about selling them. So I'm from Hawthorne Avenue. I put in my time and my work right there on Hawthorne Avenue. Graduated from Weekway. I was always a good kid, but how I decided to get my money was, on that block. That led me to the county right before I couldn't even get my high school diploma because I was in the county on my graduation day. So it was like that, but I was able to get my cousin taught at Shabazz, so he was able to get me down south with a bunch of us down south to college. But I still got in some trouble down there. Lost a friend. One of my friends from Irvington got murdered. We were just going through it, man. And I got in trouble down south, and graduated college with decent grades. Like I said, I was always a good kid, but couldn't get a job because I was a felon. So, went into entrepreneurship. I wasn't coming back home. I would come back and forth to visit all the time, but I wasn't coming back home because nothing changed. And so I just toughed it out as an entrepreneur. And I was on my way, but when the economy went crazy back in like 2010, it was just nuts for me. And I went back to South Carolina where, I went to college and it was a little bit cheap. I started having kids. And again, I'm a felon, so I had to take an $8 an hour job. My son was about to be born. I had to have something coming in, and did that. But I just knew I was destined for better. I've done way more. $8 wasn't for me. I picked up a camera. Actually, I was in church at the time, and I had a camera. I was doing some video work with like celebrities and blogging and all that stuff, but it wasn't no celebrities in South Carolina. So I'm like, I'm sitting here with a $2,000 camera. It's just, you know how we get down. I said, I'm selling. So my pastor said he was going to buy it from me. He bought it. 2 weeks later, he gave it back to me. He was like, man, I want you to do something with it. I'm like, you sure you don't want the money back? He's like, nah, I want you to do something with it. So I took it seriously, and I just went hard body with that. And, I took it, but I didn't go at it as an artist. I went at it as a businessman. So I understood. I'm like, who's going to pay me the type of money I need to get paid? So I went into the commercial route and was able to be extremely successful with that. And in that, it led me to government contracting. And they would use me as the poster boy around South Carolina saying, hey, he gets a lot of work in the government. This is a minority. But it really wasn't a lot of us did. So I had the theme, I Won't Starve, had already been created, but I created a business around it where I started partnering with the government entities to help minorities actually get certified to do government work and get contracts. And so we've helped over 600 businesses in the state of South Carolina and some in the Southeast get certified to do business with the government.
So you said you started the I Won't Starve mantra early. Where
I started that right before I left my job. That was the thing because everybody was saying, look, you've been going through hell. You barely can get a job. Now you had this job. And I started at $8, but by the next year I was up to about $14. But it just wasn't enough for me. I knew I had more. But they were just like, hey, man, you need to stay there. You're not going to be, you got a new baby, all this other stuff. I'm like, I'm good. I won't starve. I'll be just fine. And that was my way of saying, you know what, every time I got a dope photo shoot, I would put hashtag I Won't Starve. Since then, I've worked with the WNBA, the NBA, NFL. I've worked with major brands all over the country and international brands. So, like, I would just let them know, like, I'm going to show you, I'm going to make this camera whistle. I'm going to let y'all see it. And they
Mhm.
did.
So that I Won't Starve came long time, just
Yeah,
from just for it started a hustle early.
exactly, exactly. I had shirts early, just me wearing them, wristbands, everything. That was just my reminder to myself. And it
Hmm.
really, honestly, be keep it all the way funky. It was my middle finger to everybody. But then when other people started, taking it, in a good way and positively, I'm like, okay, I'm on to something. You know what I'm saying? I
Hmm.
said I'm on to something. But yeah, it was just me saying middle finger to y'all. I'm gonna show y'all I won't starve. I ain't had nobody. I ain't had nobody to call, borrow no money. I'm like, all that's done. It's just gonna be me, and I'm gonna figure it out.
I like that. I like that. That was, especially the part about, keeping it, having it as a reminder to yourself, and starting it from a reminder for yourself to making it a brand, and,
Yeah.
starting a business with it. And, you travel all over the place. I watch you, and we talk here and there. And I hear that you're here, you're there, you're doing conferences, or you're speaking. Tell us a little bit about that. And because I know that there's a lot of people that follow me that are teachers, have schools, have organizations, and they may want to reach out to you.
Oh man, so I used to shoot major conferences, and I would hear people speaking and telling their stories. I'm like, man, I got a story. I got something to say. It was just burning inside of me. And so one of my partners moved from South Carolina to Atlanta, and he had got a mentoring program set up at Georgia State, and he gave me an opportunity to come speak because he knew my story. And I spoke there, and I bit by the bug after that. But for me, I was like, I'm not gonna put myself in a situation where I gotta wait on somebody to tell me I'm worthy of them paying me to speak. And so I created the I Won't Starve experience, which was back in 2017. Where I said I'm gonna have an event. Like I said, I partner with the local government, the city, the county, the state, and a school, a technical school, sort of like ECC, but it's called Midlands Technical College. And they all came in, and I knew I can offer something to them. I was going to get these minority business owners and talk to them about their business, get them up and running with their business, and then go ahead and use the other people as the conduit so they can get, funding, or they can get, certified, get some training that they need for education, all that. So we did that partnership. It was my first event, and I was the keynote speaker. They paid $50 to come in the door. So I created a situation for me to speak on my own. I didn't wait on nobody else. So from the time I hit the street, when people saw me speak, I was already a keynote speaker, and I was already a headliner, and I created that avenue for myself.
Awesome. I like that. And you went from there to becoming an author. So you have books on the table too.
Yeah,
It only
not
do
not
shirts
that
and
time.
speak.
That was funny. It was crazy because everybody said, "You speaking? Where's the books? Where's the book? Where's the book?" I'm like, "What book? I don't need no book." And the crazy part about it is, I went to a TD Jakes conference the year I left my job right before, and that's what kind of started it. And the lady there said, "You're going to write a book one day." And I'm like, "Man, I ain't write no book." And I got homeboys used to say, "Yeah, you should write a book. You should write a book," because our life was like that. I really was in the mix doing what I did. Wasn't no killer or nothing like that. But when it came to getting that money, that was me. And so like talk about that. But I had been stopped selling drugs. I stopped selling drugs in 2005 when I helped my mother kick her heroin addict. You see what I'm saying? So I fell off and got back on without the drugs, without selling drugs. I'll get back in the street. This is with a camera, with me bettering myself. You know what I mean? With personal development. So I said I didn't want to talk about me selling drugs. And then some of my homeboys in Jersey still fighting cases right now. I'm like, I can't tell them what we did 10, 15 years ago, so they could be jammed up. So I'm like, nah, let's talk about this. And I Won't Starve was just a guy, a father, who was like, hey, I'm not gonna let my kids be jammed up at all. And then I turned it to a situation where I'm gonna help my people do the same thing I did. They can go higher than me. I'm cool with that, but they're not gonna go through the same hardships that I went through if you came through my programs. And that's where the books came from. So my first book, I Won't Starve, again, my story. You Won't Starve is my training manual. And then Morning Motivation was created just last year. I put it out because everybody was giving out garbage advice about COVID-19. Throw this year away, do this, do that. 2020 changed my life. I mean, I lost 3 family members to COVID from a health situation.
I'm sorry to
But
hear.
in business, yeah, I mean, some people lost more. But,
Yeah, I know I
business,
did. I lost a lot of people that year.
yeah, so I respected that portion of it, and I back and forth to Jersey to the funerals and all of that. And from a business perspective, man, it catapulted me and put me in a different space because the camera had shut down. I'm doing I had conferences on the books in San Francisco. Actually, supposed to go to Bahamas, do a conference, all type of stuff, and all that shut down. But my second book went bananas. You know what I'm saying? Went bananas because my trainings, people needed them, and they needed them all over the country and in
And they
different parts of the
were
world.
doing Zoom, and
Exactly. They were buying my books, and that's why I spent a lot of time on the West Coast, because the West Coast showed me love. And they was like, man, you can send that. Okay, we gonna cop the book, and we did like 4,000 books over the summer. And like off my website, not off Amazon, off mine. So you know what I'm saying? Exactly. So we like, all right, bet we got something. And people like, hey, can you do a conference? Can you do a Zoom joint? All right. When they opened up the doors, we was in California immediately, working. So it was just like that. I'm like, this catapulted me to something different. So that's what it was. So that's where the books came from. And I just wanted to tell people, this is not our first crisis, and it's definitely not going to be our last crisis.
Nope.
You know what I'm saying?
I agree.
Yeah. So how do we stay consistently motivated no matter what the crisis look like? And that's why I started doing the morning motivations. Like I started in 2020, end of 2020, and we still going every morning. Y'all see me put a post. So we like a little over 200 joints, more than 200 joints in videos on social media right now, continuously trying to do morning motivation to keep people positive.
Yeah, well, that I get to chime in and jump on and see your videos, but it's a good thing to hear someone from Newark doing all these big things, and you don't, I don't know if you realize it, but you started all of this at home with helping your mom kick her habit, so you started all this work with your own. You didn't just go out here and look for someone else. You started with your own, and you started with yourself. And you just broadened the horizons and made your brand bigger starting from home. So I don't even think you realize that, but I see it, and I definitely noticed that. So I mean, what advice would you actually, because I know that you have to leave us early, but
Nah, you good. Go ahead. We good.
You sure?
I'm right. I'm 8 minutes away from where I gotta be at, so I'm good. Let's rock. I didn't know, because I'm in Corona, California, Riverside. I gotta speak in Corona, so that's like 8 minutes away. So I'm good. I didn't know where I was going to be at. You know what I'm saying, at the time. So I wanted to make sure I had enough time.
Oh, so you have an evening engagement. Well, California, it's like 3:00 right now, right?
Exactly. Yeah, and it's at 4, but I don't have to be for 4:30. But I want to be there on time. On time is a little early.
Yeah,
so
I'm gonna get you out of here. Don't worry
but
about it.
We good. But I'm 8 minutes away, literally. So I'm in my hotel
good.
right now, so
Good. I appreciate you, and we got please go follow I Won't Starve page. That's at I Won't Starve. And follow Jay Haleem. Check out his motivational videos that he posts every morning. You won't regret it. And I just wanted to ask you, what piece of advice would you have given your younger self? What piece of advice would you want to give your younger self today?
Oh man, stop being impatient, and everything is fool's gold. I had a chance. We can lie to ourselves and say, yes, I saw nothing but drugs on Hawthorne Avenue. Anybody from North know what Hawthorne Avenue looked like. But I worked at a car wash. It was owned by a big-time drug dealer, but it was work at a car wash. He was paying me real money. I didn't have to sell drugs. I was enticed by what I saw. I was enticed by cats from Prince Street pulling up in their Benzes, and cats from Irvin Turner, cats from Bradley Court, all these people from all over, big-time dudes that's dead or even going away for years now, never coming home. We just hear about their stories in our small town. I used to see all them come to the car wash on Irvin Turner, right there by you get on 78. I worked there. You know what I'm saying?
I used to live over there 20 years.
See what I'm saying? That's what I'm talking about. I worked there, and I saw that. I was fascinated by that part. I was a good kid. I was nobody's killer. I ain't never tell nobody that. I just was getting to the money. You know what I'm saying? And that smarts, I took it to the street. I could have did something else, and I wouldn't have had to go through all that. I don't regret it because it made me who I am, but it could have made it a little bit easier for me. You know what I'm saying? And then the people that I influenced to do things negatively, I wish I could have been in the space where I could have influenced them to do something positive, because I realized I had a lot of influence over people. You know what I mean? And I influenced them to do negative things. Even when I went to college, I had cats from Newark coming. They wasn't thinking about school. They was like, yo, he already got an apartment at 19. He got a whip. He got a Cadillac. He doing this. He trafficking back and forth. Like, let's do that. And I'm like, yo, I got friends who did time, like real time, that I supposed to did, because I did way more stuff than they did. You know what I'm saying? So God was covering me in a different way. I had friends just jump off the porch and go do 3 or 4 years, where I ain't never did that type of time. You know what I mean? I was blessed to have bread, blessed to have some of the best of lawyers. And school was everything for me. Every time I was about to go away for a long time, they like, yo, he got the 3.5 GPA in school. He about to graduate college. You can't do him dirty like that. My friends didn't have that. You know what I'm saying? And they was following my footsteps. So I would just say, dude, be patient. Use your gifts and talents for what you need to, and just trust yourself, because I didn't trust myself. You know, I didn't have my mom around like that in the beginning. So I followed, and I was with older women. I was with other individuals that led me in the wrong path. And so I just should have just trusted myself more.
Yeah, yeah. So was it difficult for you to get in front of audience and start doing public speaking? I know you had influence even when you were living in Newark and in the streets, but was it difficult when you started doing
Yeah.
your public speaking?
Yeah, it was definitely. I didn't let them know that, but it was
Look,
it was
and I
definitely.
understand, because I am not a great public speaker, and I was like, I cannot do this Instagram live, but I had to think about all the stuff that I've done in the past, getting up on stage, and I remember when I was a kid, I used to get up there and I had to sing my 8th grade graduation, and people won't believe me if I told them, if I didn't go back and show them a video, because they know I can't sing. But I sung Optimistic for 8th grade graduation at EMA Flag, and that microphone was shaking. Like, I mean, it was just shaking out of my hand. So
Wow.
I think about, going on live now, and I go, like my first one, I could hear a little shaking in my voice, because I wasn't going on live or anything. I had never used it like that. I might be
Yeah.
at a concert or something and show that I'm live, but I would never speak. So be having that public speaking, ability and skills, like it takes a lot.
It was, I was gifted at, deflecting, because I really don't feel like until last year is when I really came alive, because I was speaking since 2016, but I never was really telling my story all the way. I would just talk about the business portion of it. And I had a guy, and it happens to be a white guy, but he always told me to tell my story. And I that was messing up my business. I thought it would anyway, because I kept my head down. Like, I worked with the military, with the camera. I worked with the government. I worked with major brands, and I always kept my head down. I even changed my name. I mean, my name is Jamar Haleem Washington, but it's J Haleem, because you look up Jamar Washington, he's a felon. And then there was another Jamar Washington in Orangeburg, South Carolina, who was a pedophile. So I'm like, I ain't running on that one. You know what I'm saying? So I'm
Mm-hmm.
like, let me do this. And I understand business. So I created a brand LLC underneath this name. You're going to look at him. You're not going to look at this person who's a felon and all that other stuff. But it wasn't until literally last year I received a pardon. So I became a felon in 2003, 2000 in June, 2001 June. 2021 June. I got pardoned for all my crimes in the state of South Carolina, and I had a speaking engagement at a high school, and I mentioned it. That was the first time I really literally talked about it, and it was at a white school, and I still mentioned it, and everybody received me so well. And I used to not be myself. I just, because I'm my business prowess, I would use my business prowess. Oh, this is what I did with business. This is how I was able to do with business. But when I started like being myself and telling my story, man, I was just free, and it started coming across a whole lot better. I just would try to hide all the time. I spent a lot of time hiding, because when I did tell people about my background, I was in the church. Man, they ridiculed me for that. You know what I'm saying? When I did tell people that, you people ran the other way. But I'm
Mm-hmm.
like, yo, I'm here. But man, I just like forget all of that. I let it be known, and it just put me to a whole nother level of freedom, and it helped my speaking go up a whole nother notch.
So you were at the beginning, you were afraid to pretty much put out your story and tell
Yeah,
people. You
definitely.
thought you would be
Definitely.
judged, and um but
I was
I've
judged behind the
definitely
scenes.
what was that?
Was judged behind the scenes, and that's why I did that. You know what I'm saying? Like, I would talk to people in church and all these other situations, and I would tell them, and then next thing you know, they start acting different towards me, or I don't get this opportunity, or they don't. I've had people straight up tell me, I'm like, no, I got an opportunity to get a real estate license, and they're like, yo, somebody, put me on. Now I'm not getting involved in that. Like, all you gotta do is put me on. I ain't ask you for no money. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? Tell me this. It's just a different situation. So these are church folk who did that type of stuff. And I'm like, man, what is this? What's going on with me? Like I was a pariah. And so I didn't want to tell nobody voluntarily put myself in no bad space, and keeping my head down worked wonders for me before. But I had to free myself of that.
That's a good story. Yeah, that's a good story. And I mean, it's a lot of people who keep quiet about their past instead of actually putting it out there and making it known. I mean, because it could definitely heal a person as well. It could bring it, they can start a brand, a business with it, but it's therapy as well to put your
Yeah,
story out. I'm an open book, and I've always been like that. And I don't have a problem sharing stories or anything that goes on with me. So I figured out, I had spoke with a mentor, and I've gone to a lot of speaking engagements, and I've heard a lot of people say that, just, if you tell your story, you don't know what you'll become, and
yeah,
it can heal the heart, heal the mind, and it helps, with a lot of mental illness. And people hurt in silence, and people deal with things in silence, and
yeah,
that affect their everyday life. So
yeah.
it's good that you were able to, have confidence to put it out there.
Yeah, it was definitely something that took a while to do, but it was needed, and I'm grateful that I did it. Again, it was just always got negative responses, and I was, you can fake and pretend as long as you need to, and then after a while, it's going to come back around, and that's what I was doing. I mean, I wasn't lying about my business prowess, but it wasn't me. It was like, you don't know what I'm going through while I'm trying to build this business. You don't understand, like, because people looking like, why are you not, you got good grades, you graduated college, why don't you? I've never had a corporate job, not one time. From the time I got out of college, I never had a corporate job. Not that I didn't go for them, because I came out with $60,000 worth of debt. You know
Mhm.
what I'm saying? And I'm sitting there, I got a wife, I'm trying to help her out. She got good jobs, and I'm sitting there looking like the deadbeat. You know what I
Mhm.
mean? Because our sisters are hard on us, brothers. So, hey, if he making more than you,
Come
she
on
got,
now.
no, I'm just saying, she got a mom. So her mom, like, yo, how you making $80,000, $90,000 a year, this, that, and the third, and he, just barely making it. That don't look good. You know what I mean? Now it's cute now because I'm up, but I remember those years, but she was like, yo, it don't matter. I see something in him. You know what I'm saying? He actually trying. He's starting his business. He's a blogger, and he started a blog in 2010 and 2012. He's in LA on the red carpet. Like, whatever he says he wants to do, it actually works. And
Mhm.
if I can get him to stick to it, we'll be good. And that was what the thing happened with the camera when I stuck it out. It was like, yo, I'm at the Super Bowl, eating with my team. I'm a 49er fan. I'm sitting there having lunch with the 49ers because of the camera. Like, that's something that I stuck to. And I finally said, all right, I'm going to do it. And it worked. But it's rough when you making $8 and your lady making 80,000. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Mhm. Mhm.
hey, and they looking at you crazy. They family members, friends, homegirls, you know what I'm saying? Like, he driving your car. Like, what? That type of
And
thing. So,
I like how that pastor came back to you. He bought the camera off of you, and he bought it back to you.
2 weeks later, yo, he saw something in me, and he was just like, yo, man, I want you to use it. And I didn't care about that stuff, but I was like, if that's going to happen, that's a God thing. And I wasn't going to let him down, God down. And as I grew, I understood I wasn't letting myself down. And I just went super hard with it. I really did.
That's deep. That's deep. Um, Look, I wish you could see it, but I had a little tear in my eye. That kind of that touched me, because I felt like, a lot of people don't see your capabilities. They don't see, skills. People always trying to, and sometimes it could be our own people who will try to bash you, and
Yeah.
take you down, and won't pick you up. But that pastor, whatever race he was, it doesn't even matter. But
Oh, he black. He's a black
oh,
guy.
he is okay. Well,
Yeah.
it's just the point that he saw something in you, and that took you from, because who knows what have happened. If he never bought that camera back and start. I mean, even though that's something that you drifted off of, you're not doing the photography like that anymore. You're doing something bigger, but who would have known what have happened that day after it, that he didn't return that camera to you?
Yeah. Oh, I know. Hey, look, I had already had
You
a
say
few
you
things.
know.
I done already had a few things in the house. all that. I sold that camera. I was about to get back popping because I got a son coming.
Yeah.
I remember calling my homeboy like, "Yo, come get this. I'm gonna do this camera thing." He's like, "Really? You really? You serious?" I'm like, "Yeah, I'm gonna do this camera thing." And it didn't pop immediately, but it ended up popping. But my guy, like, he wasn't a pastor always. I knew him when we was young, and he ended up becoming a pastor. His dad was, and I left South Carolina, came back. You know, his dad passed. He ended up following his dad's footsteps. So he knew who I was. He knew what time it was. And I didn't ask him for anything. I was actually just having a conversation with him. And I was selling the camera to somebody on eBay, but I know him. I don't know the cat on eBay. So I'm like, man, if you want it, I sell it to you.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't know he was going to give it back to me. And that just changed my life because I was like, you know what? I saw God in that moment. Like, yo, that was dope. And I'm like, yo, you want the bread? He's like, nah, I don't want the bread. I just want you to do something with it. And I'm a man of my word, so it never came back void. Every time he see me or he talk to me, he know he's seeing me at another level, and I'm growing. And I do use the camera still.
Oh,
You know, I
good.
teach. I still use the camera. I just got finished on my Facebook page. I put it out. I just got finished shooting the deputies in Richland County in South Carolina. So I just do a lot of corporate and commercial work, but I don't do it as much because other things are taking over. But hey, look, I said that on purpose because a lot of times in our community, the person got the camera, they're looking at you like a weirdo. Man, look, I ain't never seen people get the type of money that you can get on the camera if you're going the right way. You know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? Like,
Mm-hmm.
you can get that. You can get to the bag for real. Don't let nobody tell you that you a weirdo, you corny because you got a camera. Man, look, how they selling that jewelry, they got to pay somebody to take a picture of it. You know what I'm saying? How they
Oh,
selling
yeah.
them cars, they got to pay somebody
The
to take a picture of
weddings,
it.
everything.
The weddings is cool, but people are letting people take wedding pictures now with their cell phones. I'm
Mm-hmm.
talking about the stuff that's never going away. This is something that your people need to know. The government is paying photographers $400 million a year. They're paying $500 million a year almost to photographers. The government is, the federal government is.
Wow.
Bagging that. Don't let nobody tell you nothing different. I work with every airport in the state of South Carolina. I work with the Save the Children Foundation. We saw Save the Children when we were kids. They're based out of London. I've worked with them for years. You know what I'm saying? I was responsible for shooting photos when they was opening up new locations in South Carolina and across the country. So, like, it's money with that camera if you're going in the right direction. I hate when people talk like that and they be like, oh, are you just a photographer? I'm like, what are you talking about? I was getting 6-7 bands for an event. You know what I mean? Like, in one day, not a wedding that you got to deal with all year round, like a conference. Okay, I'm here for this day or this 18 hours, and I got that. You can do what you need to do. So my young people, tell your kids they like cameras, give it to them. They can
Yeah.
get that money, and they can move on. That helped me and saved my life. I was able to be home with my kids every day. You know what I'm saying? I
Mm-hmm.
made my own schedule, did what I needed to do. I ain't had to work. I ain't had no job since. And that job wasn't even that hard, but I still ain't had no hard work since because of the camera. So I definitely wanted to put that out there.
That's dope. That's dope. And I don't think there's a limit to anything, you know. And I tell people that all the time. Like, I have 2 degrees. I got a bachelor's and a master's degree. You know, applied for law school. You know, started law school. Didn't even, you know, finish, but I will be going back hopefully. And I still find a way to, you know, jump in a side hustle or get a side hustle. Nothing stopped me. I got kids. I'm a mother.
Nothing wrong with that.
I'm a single parent. I used to jump in a car and do a Uber, a Lyft, DoorDash. Well, I've tried it
Love it.
all to where I created the Single Moms Hustle, where I formed a group and I would tell the sisters about little side hustles, send them codes to join us to do this job because I did it and I know it's legit and you could make some
Definitely.
money. So I would go out there and I'll do anything. I used to go take photographs of real estate. From
Love
that,
it.
just taking photographs of real estate, I started my investigation and inspection business. You know,
Wow.
so it's like, and you know, you will get jobs all the time that want to lay you off and all, because I go through it. I've been through it. You know, you do all this work for a job, they want to lay you off. But you know what?
Yeah.
My family know, my family on here, they know I'm a hustler. I'll get out there and I'll find a way. And I was just talking to one of my sorority sisters yesterday. I bumped into. I was like, she was telling me that she just got a real estate license. I said, I just became a freight broker, but I haven't done the real estate thing. That's one thing I don't have. Maybe I need to look into it. And she like, you don't need to do nothing else. I was like, don't stop me, girl. Don't stop me. My obituary gonna be 70 pages long.
I think you need to try it, because that's one of the things that happen with a lot of adults, is that we don't have an exploratory phase. We don't explore. We don't know what we want to do because we haven't explored enough. We get into something, we feel like we got to be stuck there, and then somebody say, "What do you want to do?" You don't know. Explore, explore, explore. I'd rather be a kid, but if you get an opportunity as an adult, try as much as you need to try. See what it looks like. Even still, you can help. You know what I'm saying? Like, you investigating. Now you in it, you know more about the real estate besides just taking photos of it. You actually know the business. You actually know what's going on, and it helps you. And I had a life coach who told me that, because I've done every odd job you can think of. You know what I'm saying? And she was like, all you was doing was storing that in your bank. So when I consult, because I run a consulting firm, when I consult people from all walks of life, because I've had some type of taste in all of this stuff. So I know real estate because I did real estate. I have a nonprofit, so I'm helping people get their nonprofits off the ground. I had a commercial cleaning business in DC for years and did wonders with it. So I've helped so many cleaning businesses get their contracts and go and with them just to bid. I've been paid just to help them bid. Like, this is stuff I went through. So all that you're going to go through, and it just helps you later on. So explore. If it's not hurting you, not taking you in a situation where you can't pay your bills, because you're going down the rabbit hole, find out about it.
That's right.
Find out about
it. It's no limit. It's no limit. My girlfriend just said on the comments, Didi does it all. That's a nice business name right there.
Yeah, right.
But with you going out around and speaking and doing all your work, where's your happy place?
Oh my God, man! The funny thing with my family is my number one happy place, and then in my food, which now I'm eating better now. People might see on Facebook, I put my post out. I'm eating a whole lot better, but I'm a regular dude, man. I like to hang with my family, watch movies, and eat. If I'm going someplace that new, the first thing I'm trying to do is find some food I never had before. I always like to eat the food that's in that place. I don't want to eat something I can get at home. So if I'm in California, I want to eat one of my California spots. If I'm in Vegas, I'm eating something in Vegas. If I'm in Miami, I'm eating Miami stuff. You know what I'm saying? Like, wherever I'm at, I want to eat their food. And I'm just chilling. I don't have to party. Like, I party enough for everybody. Me and my partner, we always talk. He back in Newark now. Man, we always talk about how much money we blew back in those days. I'm trying to, as a legit person, take my family on trips. Man, I could have took my family to Africa 15 times, what we used to do. You know what I'm saying? Comfortably, but blowing on bottles and sparkles and, going to 40-40 when we was like one of the first people in the 40-40 when it opened, grand open. Yeah, so like it was those type of things. Just come to New York and turn up, and I'm good on that. So I'm regular right now, man. My kids, my daughter, she's the author, 2-time author. I'm loving what she's doing with her life. She's only 13. She'll be 14 in a couple of months. So I'm literally just watching her. She's my hero. I'm watching her be way stronger than I ever could have imagined being. My son, he's doing the basketball thing. I play basketball at North Tech.
Mm-hmm.
So he was definitely. I see me and him. I want him to be better than me. So I'm just trying to push him, because I didn't have a father around at that time. So I just let him do what they do. I like watching them have games. I like watching them dress better than me. Have the stuff I couldn't have, man. My grandmother told me when I was 13, look, you just got a place to stay. I don't know how you're going to get the rest of this stuff. And so I had to respect that. But I'm just so happy to be there for them and be able to show them what I couldn't see.
Yeah. That's a blessing, right?
Definitely. That's what I live for. I can't wait to my grandkids. I can't wait a little longer, but that's my life goal, to be a grandfather. My life goal is to be a grandfather. I want to be a pop. I want to be a pop, and I want to, bring the kids over here. That's my life's goal. I don't care about all that other stuff. I just want to be a pop.
That's a good thing. Well, and you just started a podcast. So tell us about the podcast.
Yeah. Oh my God. That's my new baby. I started a podcast back in 2016 called In the Studio with Haleem. And it was to help entrepreneurs, because again, it wasn't no celebrities in South Carolina where I lived at. And so that part was itching me, because I've worked with Ice Cube, Tony Rock, the Real Housewives of Atlanta, Carly Red, soon as the what's it called it started, the Love and Hip Hop stuff started. I worked with her. Like I was doing all that with the camera when I was in DC, and when I went to South Carolina, none of that was there. So it was still itching me. So when I got up a little bit, I said, let me start it, try to help it out. But the pandemic kind of shut a lot of things down. So I recalibrated. So I created StarTalk, which is the acronym is Stand Tall and Reclaim Victory Every Day. And I just hate people telling their stories, and they just like they don't really tell everything. Like I didn't tell everything, and so I wanted to fix that because you hear the motivational speakers. Like I always pick on Eric Thomas. Like I got nothing but love for Eric Thomas, but we from North. I didn't want to hear all the yelling. They ain't do nothing for me. Like tell me how you got to where you got to. Not I'm here, I'm up, and you lazy, so that's why you not up. That's a lie. You know what I'm saying? Like Cass is out here working way harder than me. You know what I'm saying? And it's something that they missing. There's a lot of people knocking on doors. They just don't got the right combination to get in. They at the right door. And if somebody told the truth, they'll get in. And so with me, with StarTalk, I really want to hear your story. I really want to hear why and how you got to where you got to so that it can actually help somebody else. So when I tell somebody, yes, I worked for $8 at Hampton Inn, I don't leave out the part that I was also selling bootleg movies because my brother was in Jersey sending me bootleg movies that was $1 on South Orange Avenue, and I'm selling them for $5. And I had another partner I went to college with. I was going ahead on and taking cars from the auction with him, getting paid $100 a day, and I was selling stuff at the flea market as well. While I was doing it because photography didn't pop immediately. You know what I'm saying? It was going, but it took time. I'm letting them know, look, I had to do that and do this and do that and do this so they know the whole story. Not just, I took $8 and I just woke up and said, I don't want to work no more, and now I was up. That's not true. And Eric Thomas used to say, yo, man, y'all don't want to sleep. Y'all want to sleep more than y'all want to eat. And I'm like, yo, everybody got to get some sleep. Why everybody up at 2 o'clock in the morning? Then I found out that, you go to bed at 6 o'clock at night, 7 o'clock at night. Tell that part of the story so people would just say, okay, he's disciplined. He goes to bed at 6 o'clock at night. That's how he's up at 2 o'clock in the morning doing his YouTube. Not because he's Superman. You know what I'm saying? Because once you hear the Superman thing, you like, never mind, I ain't Superman, so I don't want to do that. But when I hear that you went to bed, you know what? Maybe I can be disciplined and lay my ass down and then come over there and get up in the morning and do my work. Maybe I could do my work and go back to sleep, and I'll be all right. But I put in my time. But I hated people not doing that, so I started with telling my own story, and then I'm giving other people opportunity to tell their whole story. And we want to help people. We want to help people do exactly that: stand tall and reclaim victory every day. Every day is a fight. Every day is a struggle. But we want to go to bed with victory. We want to go to bed with a smile on our face, like, yo, I actually crushed that. I won, and that's what it's about.
Yeah. Well, I'm gonna need that motivation to go to bed early because I get up at 5 and I'm in the bed at 2 in the morning sometimes because my brain is gone. What's the next move? So, and I see we have your sister said that to follow StarTalk podcast on all platforms and YouTube. So you're on all platforms right now.
Yep, all platforms and YouTube page, StarTalk.
Okay. And I should be on there soon.
Yes, you definitely will because I know you got a story. And when I watch your movements as well, just as much, I see what you're doing with your kids. I see that you all over the place in a good way. I see King graduate, you know what I'm saying?
King University graduate, FDU graduate, so. Oh,
man. And
but King is my heart. King is my heart. So I claim King University.
From home team, and you know what it is. I just interviewed a sister. She got the laundromat on Berger Street. And I think her name is Annie, Miss Annie. She has the laundromat on Bergen Street, right where on Bergen and Renner.
Okay.
And she got another one actually on South Orange Avenue, not too far from Ambassadors. And she's a sister, and I was talking to her because actually in my business, my contract with a company out of San Diego where I do training and coaching for entrepreneurs. They have stuff in Jersey and Philly as well as San Diego and Southern California. So I do training for those classes. And actually was in my last class in Philly, on the Philly Jersey class, and I got a chance to interview her. And I told her we was going to have some good conversation because a lot of people don't know what we go through, where we come from. You know what I'm saying? Like my man put on there, like to be in your 40s and you grew up in North, that's like, graduating from an Ivy League school, man. Like, it's a different breed. Like, a lot of cats ain't here to talk about this situation. And we just so grateful. And so I know that you can bless some of these sisters that listen to me. A lot of sisters from the South, that's great sisters. They don't really know because they got family members. And I got down in the South. I'm like, oh, you got a key to your aunt's house? Or your mom let you drive a car? Like, wow. Like, man, like it was 15 of us in a 3-bedroom. You know what I mean? Like, we had no damn car. Like, we on $27. Like, it was just a different situation. So people need to hear that story, hear your story, hear that, hey, you made it over and you still making it. And you still making it happen. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, we all got a survival story. They don't believe it. Like we may not live in Newark anymore. We moved our kids out, but I still go back. I'm literally almost there every weekend. I'm still in Jersey. But I think we all, if you could get up out of Newark or survive, the fittest out there, then you're good. You have a survival story, And
sure.
I definitely know, I have a story, because I've been through it all. I've been through, accidents and wondering how I walk out of flipping over a car or a motorcycle, so I'm just, and just like you said before, it's a reason why we're here. And, we have to do things like this and, motivate other people. And that's why we're here. I still believe, I don't make anything for doing this. I take my time, my own personal time at 6:00 on Tuesdays to do this. After I done ran my son to school, ran him to physical therapy, ran him to basketball, so we got to
putting that good energy. You putting that good energy out into the universe. And one of my clients, I just was talking to her yesterday. She was selling. She was trying to give away food. She's in LA. She's trying to give away food, and we helping her with her nonprofit. And she said her husband didn't want to. He's like, man, what are you making off of doing this? And I said, bring him with you. I said, because when you start putting that good information and that good energy out into the world, it does something to you. And it changes you, and you got to do your part. You know what I'm saying? This is what I think the churches miss, because they just be like, get the money, and they don't tell, like, the energy, like the energy that you put into giving back, whether it's to church, whether it's to the community, whatever. If you come with that good energy, I'm telling you, this is why you get out of an accident, without any
blessing after
distractions.
blessing.
You know what I'm saying? Like, it just comes like that. You stocking it up. And so, you ain't getting nothing out of, I don't get nothing out of my podcast at the moment. But at the same time, I knew what I had to do. Even with my second book, it was like, I got this. People don't know how it is. Like, the government contracting our people, they were everywhere. I went to Long Beach. I'm in South Carolina. They flew me to Long Beach to talk about. I'm like, yo, y'all, the black people over here not getting no money off the boats either. They wasn't getting it off in Charleston, South Carolina. So it's the same problems. We going through this all over the country. And they're like, man, I didn't know how to get this type of money. I'm like, damn, we only get 1% of the money, the minority allotted money that's offered the peers and everything like that. I'm like, wow. Like, if I don't put out this information, they won't know. You know what I'm saying? And, it's my responsibility. And I'll get it back. I'll get it back one way or the other. But put the information out there. And the more we start doing that, stop hoarding it. Can't nobody outshoot me. I mean, I feel. So I'm going to get my money shooting. I'm going to talk my talk, because my story is my story. You know what I'm saying? My books are legit. You can double check them. You can triple check them. And some of my people's from Hawthorne on here right now. You can you triple check them. It's 100. You know what I'm saying? So as long as it's 100, I know I'm going to get mine. But it's my duty to help. What did you do for somebody else? When you gone, it's going to say, what did you do for somebody else? I need that to be, pages and pages long. I did this and this and this for this person, that person. And you'll see it in the way they move.
Yep. I agree. That's my goal. That's definitely my goal. And, to just show our kids, what we could do, and what can be done, because they don't have the life. They don't have to live how we live. They're not coming from where we came from. My kids don't know how to catch a bus. They don't know how to. They don't know how to walk from Barringer home from school.
Yes. Wow.
They don't understand that stuff. They receiving door to door and all this stuff. But you know what? I make my kids work. My daughter got businesses. My son, I make him. He got his little shop that he sells his resell stuff online. Macari, Depop, or whatever those little those little marketplaces and stuff. Look, you want something, you gonna earn it.
Definitely.
You gonna definitely earn it. But I appreciate you
Love it.
coming. I want you to be able to get yourself together for
Yeah,
your
yeah, no problem.
speaking engagement. But I appreciate you coming, and I look forward to joining your podcast. I know your sister said she's going to email me, so I look forward to that email, and we set something up, and people will see us again talking.
I think y'all gonna be wild cool because she's a country girl, but I think y'all are vibe. Everybody, she never met a stranger. Everybody loves her. So
She said she does.
by the time y'all get finished talking, I think y'all gonna be BFFs.
Yeah, because our email was long. We were just talking to that email.
Yeah, I took her to North. I did a book signing downtown at the bookstore on Broad Street, and they fell in love with her. I'm like, oh God. So yeah, I think y'all gonna be cool.
Okay. Well, I look forward to talking to her. So Tamika, hit me up. Make sure you hit me up. And we'll set that up. But I'm gonna put your everything you're doing. I'm gonna put all your hashtags, your pages, the website to order your book website. I'm gonna put everything when I upload this video and put it on YouTube
Thank
as
you.
well.
Thank you so
Okay.
much. I appreciate everything you doing as well, and however I can support you, you already know. Ain't nothing but a word.
You always do, man. When it's just a friendly word, hit me up here and there. You comment on the story or a page, we became buddies,
Yep.
So I
Being
definitely,
100 with each other, being 100 with each other. So
yep.
it's just like that, and that's I really appreciate you for that because you gave me opportunity to be 100 with you, and that's cool, man. A lot of sisters aren't like that, you know what I mean? But I do appreciate you 100,000%.
Yeah, I ain't always rude. All right, man. You enjoy your evening and have a great speaking engagement. And I wish you all the luck and everything. Hi,
Thank you so
Mrs.
much. Thank you
Thanks
so
for
much. And
joining.
I'm actually graduating my class. This is what I'm going to. My Southern California class that I just got finished teaching for the last 8 weeks are graduating today. So yes, I will be speaking, but at the same time, they're graduating today. So 22 different businesses are graduating out of this program, and I'm their teacher and coach. And so
Nice.
they're graduating to go ahead and do their thing. So they're all up and down the southern portion of Southern California. So y'all shout out to them. And I'm going to go and see them off. And hopefully some of them going to win some money in their pitch competition today.
I know
Somebody going
that's
to win
right.
somebody going to win some G's,
Well,
tonight.
congratulations to them. That's awesome.
That's what's up. Yep. So y'all have a good one. Thanks again. Talk to you
Okay,
later.
you're welcome. We'll speak soon.
All right now.
All right. Have a good one.
You too.
All right, everybody. That was good. That was a great interview. That's my dude right there. I like going on his page and just seeing his motivational talks and everything. Hit him up here and there, let him know about the good things that he's doing. It's great to have a brother like that comes from New Jersey and is doing positive things. So I had to get him on this platform and I was hoping he was about. I was just so scared that he was gonna have to cancel on me, and then he told me he could only give me 30 minutes, and look how long he stayed. So I appreciate you, Haleem. That's my good brother right there. So how's everybody doing? I hope everybody enjoyed this. Did everybody enjoy? And I thank all of Haleem's followers for coming on and joining us and watching and sharing the video and getting everybody on. So I appreciate you always, Mrs. Always, always. But I'm gonna leave this thought here. Oh, let me say again, next week there's no show. I'm not doing a show next week. Taking a little break. My son's spring break, so I'll take a little break next week, and we'll be back on the 19th. We have a doula that's coming in to speak to the ladies and the fellas. If any pregnant moms or soon to be moms or moms that are trying to get pregnant. I know not me. So if anybody is looking for a doula, she will be speaking on the 19th and about the care and purpose of a doula and how a doula can help with pregnancy today. I wish I had a doula, but I didn't. But she'll be speaking to anybody that's interested in being a doula, or providing a doula service, or needing a doula service. Okay. And like I said, if anybody want to get in contact with Jay Haleem, I will list pages, his website, his book links, everything will be listed on this video as well. All right. I said I was going to do a Q&A. Not sure if anybody have any questions or anything, but since I only got 5 minutes, maybe we use the Q&A for another time, and let you guys go a little early today. But you know, my thought of the day, I just want to leave with a thought of the day. Thank you, sis. I just and thanks for viewing. Thanks for coming, always supporting and sharing my lives. We've, like I said before, we finished off a month of videos. I appreciate everyone. This is my going into April. This is our 6th episode. So I appreciate all my regular viewers, everyone who goes on YouTube and watch, everyone who shares the reel and their story, and all the feedback. Everybody contact me afterwards with a feedback about my shows, and anyone who has connected me with anyone. You know, there have been, you know, a person I've known. Everyone is either family or related to friends or family that I know. But there have been a couple people on that I didn't know, and I met them by doing this platform, and someone introduced me. So and I think like Shabira Roberts, we will have her back on, our grief recovery specialist. I didn't know her. Like I spoke to her. We set up this, you know, to do this live, and she's excellent. Like I look at her every day. She's brilliant. Like I love the things she's doing. She's a hustler. So that's somebody that I didn't know, and that I appreciate the connection that my cousin Kat had sent to me to speak with her on this live. So I'm gonna leave you guys with a thought of the day for me. And that is, you know, after speaking with Jay Haleem, I came up with, you know, one of the quotes by Albert Einstein, which says, never give up on what you really want to do. The person with big dreams is more powerful than one with all the facts. And that's just deep. I'm gonna say it one more time. Never give up on what you really want to do. The person with big dreams is more powerful than one with all the facts. So there it is. Hi, cousin Nikki. Thanks for coming in. You can see this video on YouTube. I will be reposting the reels, but the link is in my bio. Yes, cousin, it's over. We started at 6 o'clock, but you can definitely see the full interview with Jay Haleem on my YouTube channel on Instagram. It'll be on Instagram, but it'll be on YouTube, the full complete video. Thank you guys for coming in. I love each and every one of you. Even if I don't know you, I love you. And thanks for coming into the show. My cousin called me. Rest in peace to my cousin / uncle Bob Pickett. You know, he did WBLS open line, and I did my intern with him, my intern for college. So he left us. It's been about a month. And I believe he has a birthday coming soon too. So yeah. So thanks for that, Nikki. Thanks for that. So rest in peace to Uncle Bob, Julia Pickett, you know, my lawyer. We miss him dearly. All right, guys, you have a great night. Love you all. Like I said, if I don't know you, I love you. Talk to you soon. Have a great night. Bye-bye.